This is coming to you from John Wayne's 26 Bar Ranch in Eager, Arizona.
Caramba, somebody stole my caballo. Don't I know you from someplace?
I'm Chilibill, and we're doing a Man on the Range interview. And I would like for you to try some of this.
Duke's Chili.
Smells like chili.
That's Chilibill's Championship Chili. You'll find that recipe and many more in If You Like It Hot. Town, send for it.
See?
John Wayne was not always a superstar. He got his start in films in the late 20s and early 30s in B-Western movies. The 26 Bar Ranch.
I'm a roving cowboy.
Every year at the 26 Bar Ranch, Duke and his partner Louis Johnson had a cattle sales. And here's some of the fans mobbing Duke.
All my heart is yonder on the lone prairie. Oh, carry me back to the lone prairie, where the coyotes howl and the wind blows free. And when I die, you can bury me.
Everyone wanted to have their picture taken with John Wayne.
Give me back my saddle, give me back my gun, give me back that bronco that I used to run. Let me spread my blanket by a peaceful stream.
Duke always took care of everyone, starting with the ladies.
By the campfire's gleam, oh, carry me back.
And then, of course, the little ones.
Where the coyotes howl and the wind blows free. And when I die, you can bury me.
Then this young couple just had to have their picture taken with John Wayne. And he told her, "Come back and see us anytime."
I have a red chili pepper here. Today we're going to try to show you how to do turkey enchiladas from scratch. We've got a lot of work to do today, so we're going to have to really run. First of all, what I've done is I've taken 8 of the chili peppers. These happen to be mild Anaheims. You can use the ones out of New Mexico if you want to. They're quite warm. But today we're going to make up kind of a mild sauce for you. And remember, you can use this sauce not only on turkey enchiladas, you can use it on any type of enchiladas if you want to. First, what I've done, I've taken the seeds and the veins out of the chili pepper. Now there's seeds in there, as you can see a few of them floating around here on the table, and there's veins. Now those veins are what makes it fairly warm, fairly hot. So I've taken those out. Now what I've done is I put those into water, and we brought it to a boil. I cooked them for about 10-15 minutes, and then they become soft. Now if I haven't got these darn things too hot, I'll show you what we've got to do with them now. First of all, what we do is I've got to go over here and get my blender, and we get that off of there, and we take these. Now they're still pretty warm, but I'll use the grabbers here to do that, and we'll put those into the blender. Now these have cooked for 10 to 15 minutes, okay? We'll put those into the blender like this. There we go. And don't worry, you can put a little bit of the water in. We're gonna add a little more moisture anyhow to it. So we put those into the blender. Okay. Now we have to add just a little bit of the water that you cooked them in, because, you know, they have to have some type of moisture to, now if I can do that without getting it all over everything. Let me get just a little bit of water in there. There we go. That's should be almost enough. There we go. And I'll put this over aside now. We don't need this anymore. I'll put that over here. And what we have to do now is to, you know what? We didn't hook the blender up. Well, I'll hook the blender up. We'll go over to the blender now, and I'll hook this blender up. If you lose sight of me for just a second, don't worry. I'll be right back. There we go. Let me get the blender hooked up here. Well, okay. Now I think we got the blender. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to hit this blender on, I want to puree these things. That's what I want to do with them. And, oh, you know, it'll take you probably 10, 15, 20 seconds, something like that. We'll just puree that up. Well, that looks pretty good to me. Yeah, that's fine. Let's cut that down. All right. And we'll get back over here, and we'll get the stove going again. And what I'm going to do, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Okay. Now what we're going to need is a saucepan. And we're going to take and put a little bit of oil in that saucepan. Just, oh, you don't need too much, just a couple tablespoons of oil. We're going to need a little bit of flour, or you can, if you wanted to, you could use mazzarina as your thickening for your gravy if you wanted to. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to add this in, and I'm going to make what's called a sand roux, you know, like down on the beach. And what you do is you mix the oil and the flour till it becomes, oh, it kind of looks like sand. You know, it's not real runny, okay? It absorbs the oil, and this is going to be our thickening. Now I'm going to have to get this back over here, and let me get this back over here like that. Get this stove turned up, and you know what I have to do? I have to get over here and get the stove turned back up. This is kind of a cheap setup here, but it does the trick. Let me get the stove hooked up real quick here. There we go. Now we got the stove going. Okay, now we can bring that up to heat. Now, what we're going to do is I'll get that flour out of the way. We're going to put in the puree that we just made up, that I showed you just how to do your chilies. Okay, we're going to put that right in to the sand roux. There we go. And let's get rid of this. Okay, we're through with that for the time being. I'm going to need it a little bit later, but right now I think that's all we need. I need to give that a stir, though. And you have to watch just a little bit because it does thicken quite fast. And we may have to add a little bit of more moisture to it. Now, at this time, you could put in, I'm going to add just a little bit of water to it, okay? Just a little bit, depending on how thick you want your sauce to be. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting there. And, of course, it's a nice red color, you know, because we're using those nice fresh chilies. Now, if you wanted to, you could use one of the better red chili, canned red chili mixes, you know, that you can find in the store, or you can make it up yourself, just like we're doing today. All right, the next thing we need, we're going to need some spices. Get my old spice rack out here. We're going to need some comino, and we're going to put in one half, where's it at? Yeah, here it is, 1/2 of a teaspoon of comino. Good, potent comino, just like that. We're going to put in 1/4 teaspoon of oregano, and 1/4 teaspoon of oregano. Here we go. All right. And 1/4 teaspoon of cilantro. There we go. Go a little easy on the cilantro or the coriander, because that's pretty potent stuff. You have to go a little bit easy on that. Okay, let's get those spices out of the way now. We don't need those anymore. Give this a nice stir here. Now, you could use meat broth in this. Some Mexicans like to use meat broth in their sauce, and some don't. So that you just have to leave that up to you. You could either use chicken or you can use beef off of something that you've boiled, maybe chicken or a piece of meat that you've boiled. And this is thickening right up. This is beginning to thicken right up, and we've got our spices in there. You know what I forgot? Let's see if I can find it here. Garlic salt. Now, if you want to use the fresh garlic, go right ahead and use the fresh garlic, but you got to smash it up. You got to chop it very fine, okay? We're going to use just a little bit of garlic salt here. Oh, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic salt. And yeah, we've got this boiling now, so we're in halfway decent shape here on this. All right, the next thing we're going to do, I think I've got everything in here. Yeah, the next thing we're going to do is I'll go over here to the refrigerator, and I've got to get some stuff out of there. Now is when we get to the part where we clean out the freezer. I'll be right back. Okay, we've got some cheese, and we've got some leftover turkey. I got to digging around, and I found this turkey in the freezer. This happens to be a nice piece of breast here. I think I'll just go ahead and use that. And what we're going to need is we're going to need about 2 cups of turkey. And I'll just cut this up. Let me cut this up real quick here. And we need to finely cut it. We don't want great big hunks in it. We want to finely cut it like this. Okay. That's going to be pretty close to a couple cups, I think, right there. I think I guessed that one pretty well. Cut it up like that. Get my scraper and something to mix it in. Put it into the bowl. Now to that, we're going to add, if I can find it, there it is, a half of one of these small cans of diced green chilies. We're going to put in about half of that into it, okay? I'm going to save, now you could make a double batch and of course use this, this whole can. And these are mild Ortega chilies. To that, I've got to cut up an onion. We're going to take a break here. Oops, I better give this a stir. We'll be right back in about a minute or so, and we'll get on with making up the turkey enchiladas. Don't go away.
John Wayne never forgot the people that made him a superstar. He would always take care of each and every one of them, no matter how many there were.
I left my love a-waiting in Laramie. She waited there a year, maybe 2. Do you know why my love didn't marry me?
Some of the cattle that were in the sale, and here is one of the prize bulls that went up for auction.
I found me some women who were,
even the young girls liked Duke.
that was strong. And then I found
Here's Pilar Wayne, Duke's wife.
I found a love.
And there's Michael Wayne, his oldest son. He's camera shy.
Name I knew, and true love will marry me, and she'll be mine.
Now get out of here and don't come back.
See?
We're back. Well, I've grated up about 1 cup of Longhorn cheese. Now we put the Longhorn cheese into the turkey and the green chili mixture that we did. We put that in there. Now I'm going to need a little bit of onion here, so I'm going to cut up, about 1/4 of this onion. So let me get just about 1/4 of this onion cut up. I'll take about 2 good slices. That should be enough, I think. And just peel the outer layer off. You don't need that. That's kind of chewy. We'll get that out of the way over here. Here we got 2 nice pieces there. And now what we do is we'll just have to chop these up, and we want to mince them fairly fine. Remember how I told you how to mince these? You cut them like this and then cut them in half, and then you just kind of rotate them, and because they have rings on them, they will mince by just kind of rotating the piece of onion right like that, keeping your fingers out of the onions, and that'll mince the onion. We've got one more to do here. Let me do that real quick, and we'll just mince this onion up. So in this mixture we have the turkey, about 2 cups of turkey. We've got the green chilies, about 1/2 can of that small canned chilies, and we've got about 1 cup of plain old onions. And where's my scraper? Here it is, right there. Now that goes into the mixture too. Now over here I have my sauce going. I'm getting my oil ready right now. Over here we're going to do some, we're going to limp some tortillas. Let me get this stirred up, and we can put this aside for the time being. Let me find something else to stir this up with. Here we go. Oh, there's my chili spoon again. Well, we'll use it. Stir this up, and it becomes kind of like a, you want to kind of make it easy to handle, so you may have to add just a little bit of moisture to that. Oops, I got a great big hunk in there. Let me break that up. There we go. Okay. Now we can lay this aside. We've got this fairly well mixed up. We'll just lay this aside over here. Come back, get back in there, onion. Like that. Lay that aside. Now what we'll do is show you how to make up these things. Okay, what we're going to do now is I've got to limp some tortillas. Now I like to use the plain old paper sacks you get at the market. You can use you know, the paper towels if you want to, but I think that's you know, this is a good way of doing it. They're very absorbent, and they will soak up this unwanted grease that you're going to have. Now what we're going to do is I've got some tortillas, and believe it or not, today's tortillas are not green. A few shows back we had some tortillas, and they were just a little bit moldy, but today they're not moldy. Okay, what we're going to do is I'll limp some of these. Now limping is just strictly so that you can handle them. You can't handle them this way because they unroll. So what we're going to do is I've got my grease up now, fairly hot over here. Today I just use kind of baking shortening. But you know, you can use almost any type you want. You can use butter if you want to. Or you can just use plain cooking oil. Okay, here we go. I'm going to limp some of these up. Now all you need these in for about 2 or 3 seconds on each side. And that's all you need. You don't need much more than that. Bring those over like that. Let them, let the paper sack kind of absorb the oil. And I'll make up a couple of them here. We'll do another one. There we go. Now we got good hot grease. You really need your grease fairly warm. Now, of course, you know, you can work these, and they will, now you can work them without them breaking on you. Let me do one more. I'll do one more tortilla here. We've got to feed some of those guys out there, you know, too. And, well, that's bubbling good there. That's our sauce. Here we go. Okay, that's good enough. Just a couple seconds on each side. That's all it takes when your grease is warm. Just a couple seconds on each side. Okay, now we've got our tortillas limped. We've got our turkey here. It's all mixed. And our sauce should be just about done right now. Now let's put these things together. What we're going to need is a plate. Let's get a plate here. And I'm not going to be able to make it with that one. I've got to find something I can scoop with. Let's see. Well, here's another one right here. Okay, what we're going to do now is I'm going to, now some people do this and some people don't. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in the sauce, just like that, and that'll coat both sides with the sauce, just like that. Now what we're going to do, I'll go ahead and put in about a tablespoon, maybe a couple tablespoons of our mixture here, and then we roll them, just like that. Here we go, there's one of them. Let's make up another one here real quick. Put them in the sauce. Now, some people don't do this. Most Mexican food places, most Mexican food restaurants don't do it because it takes extra time. But this gets the sauce completely on the tortilla. We'll roll this one up just like that. Okay. That's two. That should be good enough for one of the cameramen out there. Let me go back here and get some paper towels. Yeah, I've got to get some paper towels. Hold on just a second here. I'm going to need some paper towels. Okay. Now, we've got the enchiladas just about ready to go here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the sauce, and I'm going to put the sauce over the enchiladas, just like this. Okay. And now I'm going to have to put just a little bit of cheese on top of that. I think I can turn this one down right now. Okay, we'll take that. I'll put just a little bit of cheese. Where's my grater? Here's my grater. Let me get my cheese out here real quick. Here we go. This is just plain old Longhorn cheese. Nothing fancy. Of course, in Mexico, they use a lot of goat cheese. We don't use too much of that up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of cheese on top of this, like this. Okay, just to top it off a little bit like that. Now, what I'm going to do is put it in the microwave. Now, you can put them in your regular oven if you want to. The microwave does a great job at it. I guess I could clean this plate up just a little bit here. There we go. I'm going to put it back here in the microwave. We're going to put it in there for 2 minutes in the microwave on full power. Let me get that back here. 2 minutes on full power. There we go. Those are raring to go back there now. Now we're going to try to make up one more thing for you today to go with that. The enchiladas, we can move the sauce, we can move that out of the way. I need one more frying pan right here like that. Now what we need, that isn't it. What did I do with it? Here it is. Okay. We're going to put in some rice. Whoop. Look at there, look at there. I dropped some water in that hot grease. I'm going to put in some rice. This is leftover rice. I'm going to put in about 2 cups of leftover rice, okay? Into that, I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of chili powder. Use your own type. You know, you don't have to use, this happens to be my own, but you don't have to do that. You can use some other chili powder. All right, what we need now is I need to cut up a little bit more onion for you, and a little bell pepper for you. And what else do I have to put in there? Oh yeah, I've got to put in this tomato. I found this tomato, and this poor old tomato was getting kind of sick itself. So I'm going to save this tomato. Today's garbage day at Chilibill's Kitchen. Okay, we're going to be back in about 1 minute. We'll finish up the Spanish rice. We'll dress up our plate. We'll be right back. Oh, howdy, partners. This is old Chili Bill. Just want to remind you, we're going to be coming your way every Saturday right here on KUSK. We're going to be cooking up all those great foods of the Southwest. Enchiladas, tacos, burros, guacamole, barbecue. We sure don't want you to miss any of it. So stay tuned right here on KUSK. Till then, adios. Okay, we're coming in on the home stretch here. Remember what we had here. We had about 2 cups of rice. This happened to be leftover rice that I had. And we put in that 1 heaping tablespoon of chili powder. Use whatever type you want. To that, I'm adding about a 1/4 of a cup of finely chopped green pepper, green bell pepper. And to that, I'm adding in about a 1/4 of a cup of minced onions. And then we took this poor old tomato over here, and I saved him. And what we do is we're putting in about a 1/4 of a large-sized tomato. And we're going to mix that all together in here. And this has to cook for just a little while before it's really ready. I'd say you got to get at least 10-15 minutes on it. And we'll go ahead and set up the enchiladas right here. I'll be right back. I got to go over here to the microwave. Aha, got the enchiladas. There's the enchiladas already, this turkey enchiladas. And to that, what we'll do is now we're assuming that this is cooked the proper time, and we'll put just a little bit on the side, just like that. And we'll take a little bit of lettuce, dress up the plate, and we have turkey enchiladas out of leftovers. Hope it helped you today. We're going to have to roll. See you next time. Adios.
Caramba, somebody stole my caballo.
Nobody stole your caballo, Tomato. He took off and became a lawyer after tasting Chilibill's famous championship chili.
Don't I know you from someplace?
I'm Chilibill, and we're doing a man-on-the-range interview to find out how many of you good folks out there like your chili hot and spicy. That's the way I like mine. Plenty of hot stuff in it to keep my mustachio curled. Here, Tomato, try some of this and become a lawyer, too.
Smells like chile.
Hey, you're getting smarter already, Tomato.
Good chile.
Of course it's good. It's Chilibill's chili, and those of you who like it hot and spicy can enjoy all those good recipes you've seen Chilibill and his guests cook on Chilibill's Kitchen Show by going to your local trading post or bookstore and picking up a copy of his famous recipe book, If You Like It Hot.
See?
Or you can order it direct by sending your money order.
This was brought to you from John Wayne's 26 Bar Ranch in Eager, Arizona.